Wow. Wow. Super wow. Oh my gosh. Dude. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Give me just a second. Oh man. How's it going? Man, hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I did some adjusting. I feel like the volume's kind of low, but oh my gosh. I was trying to fix a couple more things, and then I hear brrr, and then, oh my gosh, you guys are so awesome. Give me 1 second while I still try to adjust my microphone. I feel like it's a little bit loud. If it's loud or quiet, let me know. Hopefully you guys can hear me. So I think I found out also what was going on last stream. So a couple of things, went wrong. Sounds good? Not too loud? All right, cool. Because usually it's a little bit louder in my headphones, so let me turn that up. So I figured out what was going on last stream, and so it wasn't all Twitch. So some of it might have been Twitch, so misplaced blame. A lot of it was me. And I finally figured out what it was, and then I'll get into it. I moved where a lot of my documents are stored on my network, and so I moved my TrueNAS server over to a different network and everything, and I thought, sweet, everything will be fine. Well, I didn't realize that I was serving a lot of my assets over the network for OBS. And so every 10 or 15 seconds, it was trying to loop a video, which I think was the video right up there, this little bar right here. It couldn't find it. So it would freeze. Now, I don't know why OBS would do that. But this little bar, every now and then you'll see slide across, and that's what it was. And so I had to just remap where that was. I had to remap a ton of stuff. That's why you didn't see my clock or anything. And so now it's working. But anyways, enough about that. I hopefully fixed everything. So no lagging at all. And so it was a lot of misplaced blame. So first of all, man, thank you guys so much for being in here, being in the channel. Just real quick, Ilu, dude, thanks for the resub, 3 months. P. Diddy, 4 month streak, 4 months. Doc Tiker. Oh man, you guys. So Doc, thanks for the follow. Really appreciate it. P. Diddy, dude, what is even going on? 15 tier 1 subs. Oh my gosh, P. Diddy. And then another 5 after that. Oh my gosh. P. Diddy, 20 gifted subs. This is so crazy. There's so many people I have to read out, but I got to do it. Dude, thank you so much. That's, Sudo gifted sub is what you just did. So, Flowy, hold on, I gotta turn this up because that's a little bit better to me. It just won't stop. So Flowy, Catter, Dangerous Mix, Rada Gang Pokey, CDN, Shark Term, Up, Abysmal, Cypher, Sniped, Pause, Wayne Horata, J Math, John, Shanks, TD515, QS Wood, I think it's Quincy, I forget, but QSK Wood, Bojangs, it keeps going. Victor, DJ Dub D, Amdecan, CCC08. There's a lot of numbers, C's and numbers. Scylla, thank P. Diddy for the gifted sub. Oh my gosh, dude, this is so crazy. I don't even know what's going on. I thought I was having technical difficulties, and no, my stuff's just blown up, you guys. Oh man, thank you. Man, sub hype before I even start. This is so insane. Oh my gosh. Oh, Shuckle Samurai then joins in the party. Oh my gosh, dude. Thank you so much. Shuckle Samurai, 5 gifted subs. So crazy. Jens, Vash, L1G1, Mega Man's team and the sub network. Enjoy your gifted sub from Shuckle Samurai. Dude, thank you guys so much. Oh my gosh, this is so crazy. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for the subs. It's more than enough. Like I say, I'm just happy you guys are here and chatting, and I get to have conversations and talk about things I'm interested in, and talk with people that are interested in similar things that have, similar or different opinions. I love it. Oh my gosh. Let me share out this hype train emote because I want to press it. And then Ilud, dude, 5 gift. I can't even get caught up. Ilud gifted 5 tier 1 subs. Oh my gosh, Ilud, dude, thank you so much, dude. Day Tripper, Swamware, Rhyme-Fi, Snorchup Carp, and TJL Game. Thank Ilud for the gifted subs. Dude, thank you so much, man. And Sigor, resub. All right. Prime, 3 months. Dude, Sigor, thank you so much. Yeah, run as administrator. Oh yeah. You guys get some more emotes. I'll have some more soon. I'll have some more soon. And I know that PC Geek and a couple others have been throwing ideas my way. And Discord, keep throwing them my way because I love them. These are all inspired by you. So I was just trying to think of what are some of the things we run into or talk about. And so I created some emotes. So dude, thank you so much. I can't even get to comments because I'm still going through events. AppSumo, hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Welcome to the channel. Man, how is everybody doing? Tuesday, I'm so behind on chat, but I'm going to get caught up, I promise. Well, a lot of it is bot spam. And so, man, yeah, geez. How's everybody doing? Everybody having a good week so far? I hope so. Man, I am super busy day today. Oh man. Janorian. Oh, I got to get this right. Jen Orion. That's what I'm going with. Hey, thanks for the resub. Prime, 3 months. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you for the continued support, both you and Sigor. Oh my gosh. So yeah, hopefully everyone's having a good week. Man, I was saying right before I started that, man, I'm super busy today. So I apologize if I've been a little bit disconnected from Discord, especially the last 2 days. I've just been kind of heads down with a couple things with work. And then at night it's heads down trying to get my environment ready for my next stuff. So it's a lot of heads down. But I lurk a ton. I just don't have a ton of time to type back, but no way lurk. Anyways, P. Diddy, you were first. Hey, how's it going? I think unless my chat is cut off. Actually, no, I don't know. It might have been the PC Geek. I saw a PC Geek or P. Diddy, but my chat might be cut off by now. Anyways, how are you guys doing? Phantom Way, how's it going? P. Diddy started typing nothing. Let's see, Maffney, hey, how's it going? First time catching the Tuesday stream. That's right, I saw you here on Saturday and accidentally cleared chat on you. I apologize for that. I was trying to fix the caching with that over there when I cleared chat, and I was hoping that would fix it, but it didn't, so I apologize. Ink Faust, good morning from Japan. Hey, ohayo gozaimasu. Ohayo gozaimasu. Genki desu ka? Watashi no namae wa Tim desu. But you know that if you're here. How's it going? Ilud, woo woo, 3 months. Yeah, so much. Bojangs, how's it going? PC Geeks, looks like you might have 2 bots running. Thank you, yeah. Whenever you see that running, that means I'm running the bot local on my machine, and it's still running in Kubernetes, and I forgot to shut it down in Kubernetes. So that happens a lot. Hopefully it won't happen more. It's because my light system, because I moved everything around and the way that UDM Pro works or doesn't work with MDNS, I'm still figuring it out, but I think I got to figure it out. Well, I think I know a path forward. Hopefully that figures it out. So how's everyone doing? Oh my gosh, so many comments, man. Nice in honor of Techno testing the banana. Yeah, for sure. Banana works. It might do more sometime soon. I was actually starting to write the code really quick. And then I realized I didn't have my timer set. And then so I went to go fix my timer, and that's when all the subs came in, and then I was stuck. Like Windows was hung looking at my old UNC path for my folder. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is not the right time for Windows to be hanging, trying to look for some folder that doesn't exist anymore. So anyway, see how he knew, he knew he needed it for something. Yeah, dude, Hype Train, I still can't believe Hype Train. Hype Train on my intro screen. I should spend less time in the intro screen though. I think that's what that means. Shuckle Samurai, how's it going? Ilud, what's up, man? Someone else need to finish it up. Oh my gosh. Man, so many awesome comments. Let's finish strong, man. Tim looks a bit happy over there drinking something. Yeah, nothing. I'm not drinking anything too special. I mean, this is as wild as it gets for me, and the secret's out on this stuff. So this is and I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I would be if they would pay me, but anyways, this is cherry coffee, and it has a little bit of caffeine in it, and it's like super good. And like, hey, snork, choppy carp. Thanks for the follow, appreciate it. But anyways, this stuff real quick. For a while, like I felt like I was the only one on the planet buying it because it was the only AHA left on the shelf. And I was like, this is perfect, like, because this stuff is good. And I think most people just think like, cherry coffee flavored water? No thanks. But once you have it, you're like, this is actually so good. I think the secret's out now because this is the first to go. So not drinking anything too special, just a little caffeine, just a little caffeine. Bojang Stam, thanks, P. Diddy lighting it up. iLoot sounds fine to me. Sounds good. Good, my mic. Still a little bit different to me. I'll get it figured out offline. It's definitely different. And I think it's because my Go XLR is now trying to look at my old path for my network for my my audio profile. So many things to fix. As long as it's not lagging, that's totally fine. Reed Ranger just got here after finding your YouTube. Hey, thanks. Thanks for making it all the way out here. Really appreciate it. I don't mean that snarky. I know that everyone's fighting for your attention, especially YouTube. And so, yeah, getting here from YouTube is a huge leap, big chasm in between the internet. So I really appreciate it. And I don't mean that snarky because, you know, everything's fighting for your attention. So I appreciate you coming here and commenting too. I really appreciate it. Doc Ticker, I want to say that right. Doc Ticker. I'm going to say Doc Ticker. Yeah, run as administrator. All right. TLJ game. Tim, help me figure out how to host a site using blank domain and no IP as dynamic DNS. Wow. Help me figure out how to host a site using a something domain and no IP as a dynamic IP address. Well, if you own a domain, and so there's so many ways to solve this. But an easy way is just like, hey, if you're just starting, don't own a domain, go out and get DuckDNS and sign up for DuckDNS, and then you get a subdomain hanging off of DuckDNS. And then from there, you just host a website, right? I mean, you just host it internally, port forward 80.443, whatever you're hosting over. To your site, and then configure DuckDNS in probably Docker to refresh your IP address, and that will work. If you want to go one step further and you buy a domain, then all you need to do after you buy the domain is actually CNAME your domain to DuckDNS, so that when that changes, so that your main domain is pointing at your DuckDNS domain, and then you have dynamic DNS for a top level domain. But I personally, I don't do that. I have my domains at Cloudflare, and then from there I run a Cloudflare Docker container that kind of does the same thing. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I know I'm oversimplifying it, but it's you know, half the battle, 90% of the battle is just getting your worldwide DNS to update to your IP. But yeah, let me know. Sigor, wait, my emotes are gone. I hope not. Give them a try. PC Geek, oh, that would do it. Not supposed to use the network resources, I think, in OBS. Yeah, and I do, because my network is pretty stable. You know, I mean, not this last couple of weeks. Still can't print. Actually, I have a loophole printing. I just hop networks and print on my IoT network. But anyways, yeah, I do. Yeah, I've never had a problem though, because all my documents are redirected on this machine. I feel like I'm in an enterprise, but I redirect my documents to my TrueNAS server, so then everything's over the network. And OBS has always worked fine, but for some reason, like if it can't find that resource, it's gonna hang. It's gonna do what it did on Saturday. I think that's what it is, because after I went through every resource except for my timer that I was missing, everything was fine. And I'm like, because the odd part is what really made me think it was me. After the stream, it was still doing it in just OBS, not even streaming. So I'm like, okay, it's totally not Twitch. I blamed it on them the whole time, and it's me. But you know how that goes. You know, you just rule out everything but you, and then you're like, oh yeah, it was actually me. But anyways, guess I'll be beat it. Guess I'll be on the hype train. Yeah. What the F is going on in here? Yeah, Josh. Jokum White. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, that was pretty crazy. If you just got here for the intro, that was pretty awesome. Yeah, for sure. Pididdy woohoo. John, crud, I gotta run. Try to be back later. Hey, hi, no problem. How's it going, John? Getting caught up, guys. Getting caught up. Anyone else? Not soft. Sigor. Okay, they're back. Had to close out and jump back into the stream. Thank you. I think the hype train broke it. I think the hype train probably broke my bot too. He can only keep up. I'm glad I didn't have both bots running at the same time because it probably would have, I don't know, it would have been insane. Like, you know, it probably would have destroyed and crashed. Been like dogs and cats living together. P. Diddy, I'm so behind. Bold of you to think you were ever caught up. Yeah, me too. When I get caught up, you guys know what happens. Hola, Holy Merc. Hey, how's it going? Good to see you, man. P. Diddy, my KB failed me. Yeah. Man, here we go. Nick Hag, I have a quick question about my PC. Do you know how I'd fix a black screen with a blinking underscore when it boots up? I think it may have messed something up with the hard drives or something in partitions. Yeah, I would go that way too. Yeah, whenever you see a blinking cursor, it's usually like the machine can't boot the first drive, or it can find a partition, but it can't boot the rest, which is not good, could be any number of things. Nick Hag, but let me know, like, you're running Windows, are you talking about on a server, Windows, Linux, Mac, what OS? I'm thinking it's a Unix-like system, because otherwise Windows would go all crazy and run the repair and system restore and blue screen and advanced setup help and go crazy and try to fix it. But let me know, Nick Hag. Howdy, hey, the soccer bum, how's it going? Snorchup by Carp. I want to say that right. Snorchup. I want to get that right. How's it going? Sigor. What OS sounds like a bootloader error? Yeah. I'm right there with you. Jabs danger. What? Jabs with danger noodles. Oh, I love it. So, hey, you do? All right. I do too. I've been through lots of bubbly water. Lots of bubbly water in the last couple of years. And, you know, I did I started out on, what did I even start out on? Bubbly. And then I was like, yeah, this is good. And then I went to some Target brand. I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. And then tried Waterloo for a little bit. I'm like, yeah, this is pretty good. But after going to AHA, I'm like, man, I think they nailed it. They nailed it on the flavor, the combinations, and they have two variations with just a little bit of caffeine, and it's like just enough, like after dinner, like right now, to drink some and just not be up all night. Yeah, it's awesome. Jenna Ryan, do you have any USB drives plugged in? Yeah, that is a great suggestion because it might be trying to read something off there. Yeah, good one, Jenna Ryan. I'm after sponsored by P. Diddy. Phantom Wayne, no drinking? What about some butt? No, not me. Nope. At first I thought you meant like Budweiser. I'm like, but I just said I didn't drink. And I'm like, oh, okay. I see where you're going with that one after I read it. Nick Hag, Windows 10 Pro don't have any USB drives plugged in. So it is Windows, surprisingly Windows. Wow. Nick Hag just gonna have to boot off a new USB with the Windows install. Yeah, that's kind of, yeah. I mean, you could, or you could boot off that USB and try to do a system repair. And it depends how far you're on the Windows machine. Like if you just built it and it's just doing it, yeah, go for it again. But if it's got, a couple hours worth of config and work stuff, yeah, definitely try to boot off the Windows boot and then go into advanced and then try repair. And it might find your partitions and repair them, and you'll be back in business. Maybe. I have faith in it. Give it a try. Sigor, booting into safe mode to do the fix. Yeah. iLude, yeah, make a boot stick and use it repair. Yeah, repair the boot partition. We're all there. Jenna Ryan, if you have a installer ISO or a bootable SB, you can repair the bootloader. Yeah, you guys are all over this. I love it. Sigor, there's a built-in tool that you can use. A Windows 10 installation flash drive. Yes. How do you boot into safe mode? I think you mash F8. I think if it's still that, I don't remember. Might be F8. But if you boot, yeah. Well, you might not be able to get into your installed safe mode, but you can boot from the system disk or the USB drive, and then I don't know, act like you're doing an install, but then go into advanced or something like that. The sub network, some ISPs block the ports. Wait, I missed something. Sigor, hope that helps. Nick Hag, thanks. I'll look into that right now. Lights no worky. No big deal though. Yeah, iLude, sorry. Yeah, so I should remove them right now and just say, don't use your points. Or, well, if Takano was here, I'd say, use your points. But he's not. But yeah, I moved my Broadlink devices to a different network, and UDM doesn't do the greatest with MDNS and Discovery. So broadcasting across networks. And it's so crazy. Someone actually has a Docker container that you run on top of your UDM Pro to fix this. I'm like, do I want to do that? And so I've thought about it for about 5 days, and now I'm like, yes, I want to do that because I'm so tired of things not working. So the MDS is like a partial implementation of MDS. That's what I've been reading. And it like does the bare minimum. So I can see like my Chromecast devices on my IoT network, and I can see some things, but I can't see all. And the weird part is it's like in Chromecast, like I can see individual devices, but I can't see my speaker groups. So it's like so insane. It's like, how does that work? And everyone's like, yep, this is a known issue. Just install this Docker container through Podban on your UDM Pro and it fixes everything. I was like, I don't think I want to go down that path. And now I'm like, yeah, I'm totally doing it because I'm over this. I'm over this. Yeah. I mean, and then on top of that, yeah, Unify released an update 6.0.36 or something last week, which fixed a lot of my weird DHCP client issues. Well, the reporting side, my reservations and the insights piece, which I was like, yes, finally my IPs are updating and things are good. But still, the cross VLAN stuff, broadcasting is not working so good. But anyways, I'll figure it out. Bojangles, what domain registrar do you guys recommend? Yeah, I bet a lot of people have a lot of good suggestions. iLoot says Namecheap, lots of Namecheaps. Gandhi.net, never heard of that one. DuckDNS similar to PowerDNS. Oh, sorry, I was like going to the next one. Yeah, so many registrars out there. Namecheap, super good. I use Google just because it's super easy and it was cheap the first time I did it. And they have some extra verification stuff too. That's kind of nice. So you don't have to do domain verification for sites you own that are on Google because you've already verified because you bought it through them, which not everyone needs to do. But if you're running, I don't know, WordPress sites and you need to install like Google SiteKit or any of these other things, they always do domain verification. We got to put like some Google text file or something in your DNS. And Google does that for you automatically. But anyways, yeah, Namecheap's super awesome. I was with them for like 6-7 years. Soberbot, DuckDNS, similar to PowerDNS. Does it have the auto registration of new machine names as DNS subdomains? Not sure. Auto registration of new machine host names as DNS subdomains. I don't know the answer to that. I think they only give you one subdomain. So yeah. Sigor, it's always DNS. It totally is. All my problems right now are DNS. Well, MDNS, yeah, I don't. It probably has nothing to do with the DNS we're used to, but hey, it's still in the name, so I'm gonna blame it on them. It's always MDNS for me right now. Mazorexis. I've been following the ticket system on IX system about the. All right. Yeah. Wow. So Mazorexis, I've been following the ticket on IX systems about iSCSI SMB slowness on V12 with TrueNAS. Disappointing response from them so far on the issue. That's so funny that someone found me on TrueNAS's Jira ticketing system. Yeah, it's I kind of get it. Like, because I put myself in their shoes and, I'm a software developer too, as they are. And so I think they have, engineers responding to tickets who are working on them. And so they have a public ticketing system and then engineers who are working on the tickets, and they probably have a ton of stuff to do. And I get it. And so, I was trying to give them all the information I could. But then like at the end of the day, they were like, upload this debug file, yada, 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 yada. Long question, long back and forth. But the original owner of the ticket has supplied enough information to where I feel like, okay, they had the data they need. They have like 3 or 4 or 10 tickets just like this floating around. I didn't want to create my own ticket to say the same thing. And I was just like, they got it. So yeah, it's, I'm just surprised it got this far. And so people reported this back in beta and they were like, maybe it's fixed in RC. And then people are like, it's still there in RC. And then someone logged a ticket and was like, I thought this was fixed in RC. It's not, and it's still happening. Oh, well, I'll just go back to 11 because I didn't upgrade my Z pool. And I was like, hey, I'm one of those idiots that upgraded my Z pool. And so I can't go back. So what's my option now? But anyways, they'll figure it out. They'll totally figure it out. I'm just super surprised there aren't more people. I mean, am I like one of the few people who are using iSCSI on TrueNAS? I don't think so. I mean, I don't think so. But for some reason, like I become the voice for this issue. But it's funny you saw that ticket and saw my comments because, yeah, I didn't. I guess the internet isn't anonymous, as we all know. PC Geek, I pulled out my older Dell Wise thin client, which has open ELEC on it, so I can watch movies in my wood shop with a non-HD LCD TV. Nice. Yeah, that sounds awesome. That sounds sweet, man. I wish I had some old thin clients that I can just remote into and stuff. It's funny, Wise were the thin clients. I think they ran Windows CE. I don't know. Worked for this healthcare system, and I did a lot of Wise thin client stuff, and they ran XP CE edition or XP some edition, and it was super weird because it was only like partial Windows XP, and like we're all like trying to join it to the domain and get Cisco AeroNet client on it, and like half the stuff's not working. But anyways, I did like those little Wise machines. They were so powerful. Yeah, for sure. I think at the end of the day, all we needed on there was the Citrix thin client to then terminal into our hospital app. So it's like, man, we went through so much stuff just to terminal into a Windows server. Bojang, do you have a wood shop too? Nice. Hey, man, yeah, nice. PC Geek, yeah, it came across the other side of my basement. Nice. Crazy Glue, hey, here we go. Weird issue, no idea how to recover. I have a VM going that ran out of local storage. My mistake, I allocated 50 gigs and ran out after I tried downloading a 25 gig dataset. It's running a single node Rancher cluster. Anyways, the Rancher instance freaked out, and blew itself up. When I realized I increased the partition size and got it to boot, but every now and then Rancher will start throwing all kinds of errors and clusters. Now it's super unstable. Is there a fix without remaking the VM? So yeah, So first of all, I'm sure it's a disk pressure issue. And so this isn't, just to be clear, because this happens to a lot of people, this is actually a Kubernetes problem. And so Kubernetes has a minimum set of resources per node, and it's configurable. And I think it says something like 20%. It's something probably pretty high. I've never changed it. I run into it myself too. I've ran into it numerous times. But if Kubernetes runs out of space on that node according to what it thinks it should have, like it sets aside an allocation of 20% or something like that, it will give disk pressure issues. And that's basically its way of saying, hey, don't schedule any more pods on me. I'm almost full. Or, hey, I'm going to start evicting pods. Get out of here because I'm almost full. And that's all fine and good unless you're running a single node instance. Then it's like, well, what do I do? So then they get rescheduled. So it can be annoying, and it can be hard to track down and to fix real quick. Blue Spider Monkey, hey, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. So what I would recommend doing, I know a lot of people probably, they start out, they're like, yeah, I'm gonna give this thing 40 gigs, it should be fine, or 20 gigs or something. I would go above and beyond what you think you're ever gonna use, like way above and beyond. And if you have to, like, thin provision the disk, so it really doesn't even matter to you anyway, or it's not taking up real space. And then I would extend the disk, if you can, up to that amount. And assume you're using Proxmox, extend the disk, and then start it back up. I would probably force delete a lot of the pods that are on there, scale everything down to 0. Like, as soon as it starts up, scale everything down to 0, with the new disk space. And then scale them up one by one by one. You might even want to go in there and clean up some of the old Docker containers. Like Kubernetes should do this for you, do all its garbage collection and stuff like that. But at the same time, if you're really hurting for disk space, to at least get your data off or do something with it, you could try that. So, hey, T-Nightster, hey, thanks for the sub. Prime, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Awesome. So anyways, I told you a whole lot of stuff. So if you're at the point where, hey, as soon as it boots up, it freaks out, like what I would do is shut it down, extend the volume, extend the disk for the VM, extend the volume inside the VM, scale everything down to 0, let it chill out, force delete any pods that are like in a crash loop or can't scale down. Hey, Claw Overdraw, thanks for the sub. Really appreciate it. Oh no, that was a gift. Yeah, Claw Overdraw gifted a sub to Lucas Enrique. Hey, thanks for the gifted sub. Yeah, thank you so much. Wow, really appreciate it. Sorry, yeah. So anyways, I would try all of that because those are the things I do. And those are the things I run into. One of my machine was just doing it the other day. And so I guess my only piece of advice is when you spin up, if you're going to spin up, a Rancher, if you're going to spin up a Kubernetes cluster, just be prepared to have a lot of disk space. And it's just part of Kubernetes. And I think it's configurable, the disk space that it reserves before it says, it's going to have disk pressure getting too full. But those are tough ones to track down. Subnetwork, dude, thank you so much. 300 bits, dude, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Yeah, you got to see my purple Mega Man. Nice. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. But that was a lot about disk pressure stuff. Sorry I went off so long on that. It happens to a lot of people. It happens to me. And just like when you go into thinking like I'm going to build a Kubernetes cluster, just don't be stingy on the disk space. Don't at all, because you'll run into some problems. And see, if you had a cluster, what would happen is it would just stop scheduling pods there. It would evict all those pods, and then they would just get scheduled somewhere else. And then eventually, like the cleanup would happen on that machine, and then he would be free to take on more pods. But if it's a single node cluster, you never get that, that cycle from happening. But it's all due to just not having enough disk space. Anyways, sorry I went off on that for a long time, but no one's, people ask about that in Discord. No one's ever asked live, so I figured, hey, I'll address it now. Sigor, nice. I'm finally gonna set up my wood shop in my garage in a new house this weekend. Man, awesome. I load RMF. No, please don't do that. RM-IF/ it fixes all problems. Please do not do that. Aha is fire. All right, yeah, some Aha fans in here. I like it. Yeah. Speaking of, let me get a drink. PC Geek, I have pretty much all the tools you need. Mill wood, joiner, planer, table saw, small drill press, belt sander, miter saw, etc. Man, you guys are awesome. You guys are like new Yankee workshop in your garage. Love it. I have a ton of hobbies. That's awesome. Yeah, I wish I had a shop. I mean, I would probably do wood shop stuff. I was never that good at it. Like I can cut wood and stain it. That's about it. But man, I'll have to come to you for some of my questions about, wood in general. It's getting weird now. I have a lot of hobbies, and I married a girl with even more. All right. PC Geek, getting a Dell 710 to go up from their Dell R7. Wait, hold on. Getting a Dell T710 to go up from the Dell R710, hopefully quieter fans, since it's a tower. Nice, yeah, for sure. Yeah, so that's the tower. Yeah, it probably has bigger fans. I don't know what they are. Probably 80 millimeter fans in there. So that's awesome. Maybe not 80. Maybe a little smaller. I don't know. I've never seen them. But yeah, for sure, it'll probably be quiet. And my 710, it's sad. Hasn't picked up a new roll yet. So he's been off for a week, almost a week. He's gonna get a new role here soon. We'll see. But yeah, it's kind of sad. Poor guy. PC Geek, same here. My wife is full of different things she loves. Nice. I lewd, but I mean to get. Whoa. But it means I get to buy her a lathe, table saw, and dust collectors as gifts. Nice. Phantom Way, slowness. Where we get into here? PC Geek talking about issues with the eye scan. Yeah. Lazum, yow. Yeah, how's it going, man? PC Geek ZFS anyways. I'm playing the Scrum Master. 8 hertz win IP. Yeah. Product owner, Scrum Master. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Totally. Yeah, yeah. Scrum Masters I had, I loved them all because it was so fun. It was always just this great banter with all my Scrum Masters. iLude, I have an Elgu Mars SLA printer with 2 filament printers. Painting tabletop minis is my hobby. Nice. Oh, here we go. I don't know how to pronounce it. L1G. Like to read some videos on the first things you do on Proxmox. Seeing you just bought a used R720, what do you suggest I check on the hardware? Seeing I just bought the used R720, what do you suggest I use to check the Oh yeah. Yeah, good question. So yeah, what I usually do is when I get it, if it's still under warranty, so a couple of things, like I run just mem test 86 and I will mem test the whole entire thing. It'll take a long time. Like I did 128 gigs in my 2 new servers. Fortunately, I could run them at the same time, but it was 2.5 days to run just the mem test. And then I would probably run Prime 95 or something that's gonna then, exercise your CPU and fans and try that. Hard disk one is always is a tough one. It's a tough one. I wish there was one solution that would just peg your CPU, read, write to all your hard drives, and then also at the same time exercise your memory. I haven't found anything like that yet, but those are the things I do. Hard drives, I just expect hard drives are gonna fail, and so I don't do anything like extra with them really. Maybe I should. But I just put them to work almost right away. Like I might, run something small, run a small test or whatever. But for the most part with hard drives, I don't do much at all. Don't do much testing. I don't, it's kind of like, I don't know. Cause I expect them to fail at some point in time. And I have a warranty on them. I don't know how long your warranty is if you bought a used 720. I assume it's going to be 30 days. So you may want to do something. But if it dies, within the first 30 days, awesome. If it dies on day 32, it's not so good. Is there something you can run now to prevent that or find it sooner? I'm not sure, but I'm open to suggestions on that. PC Geek, it was like XP embedded, and then and now it's like Windows 7 started or something. Started ED or something. Got on eBay, $30. Nice. Ask QSK Wood. Oh man, I need to figure out. I need to figure out how to pronounce your name. I saw it on YouTube. I think it's Quinn. I can't remember. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Anyways, do you use NFS over iSCSI on your Proxmox? No, because I just use iSCSI, and so iSCSI is block level information over the network. So what that does is basically give me a hard drive over the network. So I don't use NFS and iSCSI because I think that I don't think you can do both at the same time. But I do use iSCSI. Well, I'll put it this way. My FreeNAS has NFS shares, has Samba shares, SMB shares, and then it has an iSCSI target. And I use all three. The iSCSI target is because I make a big hard drive on one of my servers. So, but I use them all from FreeNAS or TrueNAS. And I use NFS for my shares for Proxmox. I don't use anything directly for iSCSI to Proxmox. That's for one of my other virtual machines. Hopefully that answers your question. Phantom Way, can't really use NFS reliably in Windows. Yeah, great question. I know that Windows has an NFS client, even an NFS server built in. I wish there was a way because, man, I don't know. Samba just kind of stinks for the rest of the stuff. I know it's highly optimized if it's Windows to Windows, then SMB is pretty good. But when you start crossing the streams, that's when it's not so good. And so I have to do a lot of stream crossing. Mazio Axis. I just happened to stumble across this ticket looking at another speed issue, which ended up being host related. Yeah, no worries. I just thought it was, that's awesome. I was like, yeah, that was so awesome. I just had the whole conversation over the last 3 days. But yeah, hopefully they figure it out. I'm sure they'll figure it out. I'm just super surprised that no one there, even internally, has experienced this. So I'm like, who, who, I mean, and I thought that, well, maybe it's just me, but there's a lot of people that have it. And so maybe we should create tickets. I just hate creating a whole bunch of tickets and then associating them all with one issue. I don't know. Maybe it's a developer in me, or I just don't want to duplicate efforts and just say, hey, all the information's in here. Just focus on this. But yeah. Let's see here. Complinix. Techno Tim. Have you already had a look into Proxmox's new backup server 1.0? Yeah. Yes. Have I spun it up yet? No, I still have my beta version. I haven't updated it yet. So I have looked at it, and I read through the comments and stuff, and not a lot has changed from beta. What I was hoping they would have done with 1.0 is release their clients for Mac and for Windows. And so PBS is pretty awesome. You can back up Proxmox things on Proxmox, but you can also do file level backups for Linux. So I think they have a Debian client, so it'll work on Ubuntu. What I was hoping with their 1.0 release is that they would also release a Windows and Mac client so that you can have file level backups for all the machines on your network. So not just virtual, not just things in Proxmox, but physical too. And so OS level file backup, I was hoping was going to be in there. So after I saw it wasn't in there, I was like, not a ton of new information for me, nothing where I'm like, yes, going to get fired up about it. Is it awesome? Yeah, it's awesome, but it was awesome in beta too. So, I'm hoping that they release the client soon, because that's what I need next. I need file level backups for a lot of my machines. And I wouldn't install it on all of them, but when you have, like desktops and MacBooks and these things that are totally disconnected, that aren't connected to this network, or even inside of virtual machines where, hey, I just want to back up a couple folders on, on whatever, Linux, Windows, and I don't want to, totally write my own scripts like I always do and set all these permissions and create all these shares. It would be nice. So I'm hoping they get there soon. But yeah, for sure. Let's see. Thanks for oh yeah, no problem. Claw Overdraw. There's a new one. Hey, thanks for the YouTube vids. No problem at all. Be sure to check out the Discord. Yeah, PC Geek. Thank you, dude. Getting caught up on chat pretty quickly. I was just saying I'm getting caught up. I'm getting there. Phantomway. 3 VMs as an alternative. Where do you host Kates? Wait, hold on. 3 VMs as an alternative where you host Kates, as opposed to a single cluster. Let me try to understand what you're trying to ask. 3 VMs as an alternative where you host Kates as opposed to a single cluster. I'm not sure what you're asking, but I think I kind of understand. So I think you're asking just maybe what the difference is, or how I'm hosting Kubernetes right now, and how I have more than one VM for Kubernetes, and maybe I'm not sure. Well, you tell me what you're trying to say, Phantomway. But I think I know where you're going with that. Just let me know. Claw Overdraw. Gotta go. Hope to catch further streams. Hey, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Lucas Cash Enrique. Oh man, this is names. I apologize. Lucas Cash Enrique. Any K3OS users? I'm not. I hear a lot about it. I keep hearing about K3OS and CloudInit together are pretty awesome. I am a K3S user, but not a K3OS user yet. See here. Okay, Sigor. In your last Proxmox video, where you mentioned installing a package for smart reading, or whatever that disk monitoring thing is called. Yeah, so was it in your last video? Oh, so you're just asking what I was talking about. That's something that's turned on by Proxmox by default. And so that should just be there, and it should be working, and it should work out of the box. If it's not working out of the box, that could mean a couple things. One, it got turned off or disabled somehow. You accidentally disabled it from some command you ran. 2, it can't communicate with the smart information on your hard drive. And that could be for a couple of reasons too. Something's up with your disk, or it doesn't have direct access to the disk. And so there's nothing really that you need to do there unless you want to turn on alerting, which then it's not fun, but you got to enable alerting through the terminal, and I think edit some config so it can email you. But I think that's what you're asking. And I think my point there was just to make sure it's working, because if not, you might run into some problems. And it's better to know about those things ahead of time. And so for me, for a while, I was passing through a RAID controller where I didn't have any of that information. But there's any number of reasons why that might not be there. So yeah, that was my only point in there, was just make sure it's working. Shoko Samurai, my plan is STO to spend a chunk of time in Chaitu box. Oh man, I have no idea what this thing is that you guys are talking about. Chaitu box. I'm gonna go with that. Crazy Glue, how many story points do you tackle in a week? How long are your sprints? Whoa. Yeah, it just depends. I mean, so it just depends. I mean, you know, story points are, yeah. So the story on story points, you know, people say not to use it as, it's more of a unit of work or effort and not necessarily time. And so I've worked at companies who've done all kinds of things, who said story points are equal to time, equal to effort. We're not going to use story points. We're going to t-shirt size everything, small, medium, large. If it's bigger than a large, you break it down. So I worked at places where everyone had their own idea of how it should work, which is exactly how it should work. It should work for your team, and your team decides what it means. And so at the same time, you know, I've worked at places where sprints are 1 month. I've worked at places where sprints are 1 week, and they're 2 weeks. And I've even worked at places where every team had different sprint lengths too. So anyways, that's a long story I've done it so many different ways. Story points, I couldn't even tell you how many I do in a week. Just depends. But currently, none of my stories even have points. They just have a t-shirt size, which then you could say, okay, that's kind of like points. You say small, medium, large, that's 135, you know, but anyways, there's so many different philosophies on how that should work. But I can't tell you. I mean, when different places, I don't know, 20? I don't know, 10? I couldn't tell you, because the last time we kept track of points, it's been so long ago that I really, I can't tell you. I'm honestly trying to remember how many story points, and I want it to sound awesome. But that can mean different things at different places. So, and you know, it all depends. When you're a developer, you could pick up a story and you're like, hey, this is super easy. You get into it and you're like, no, this is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. And there are a lot of external dependencies. And now this thing is blocked, or I got to figure out all the other stuff that wasn't figured out ahead of time. So anyways, your mileage may vary, but I have no idea how many story points I do in a week. Ice Wolf, hey there, just found your channel 3 days ago, and I've watched a ton of videos so far. Thank you, appreciate it. I was wondering if you had or could make a video about making an open VPN server using DDWRT router, or even just a server. I'm trying to do that, and honestly, I feel like I'm a bit too deep, could really use some help. I want to make something that allows me to connect back to home and remote manage my family stuff from college. Thanks for the video so far. Yeah, I mean, I doubt I'll create a video on just that. But I will say, like, that, okay, if your parents have a router that can run DDWRT, from there, so one, if you get on DDWRT, you're definitely on the right path, because then it'll make everything so much easier, and it'll be a lot less for your parents to manage too. You know, it's just a router. It's not a whole entire OS. They don't have to worry about anything. So anyways, so I guess my recommendation is, if you can get DDWRT on there, get it on there. Once you get it on there, you're gonna need to set up dynamic DNS. So I think DDWRT supports, I don't know, 5-10 different dynamic DNS providers. Maybe DuckDNS is in there, but there's a long list of them. And then once you get that set up, then you know how to get to their IP address. Then, if you're using DDWRT, you want to make sure that you flashed it with a version that contains an open VPN server. And I forget, they have many different versions. It's been a while since I looked at their site. And you'll want to just make sure it has OpenVPN server. I can't remember what you do from there. It's something like create the server, give it your DNS name, and it'll create a profile, I think, for you. And then from there, you should just be able to create then a client. So on your laptop, desktop, whatever, on your remote machine, you create a client with that secret or that certificate with all that profile information. Point at your dynamic DNS IP, that's your parents' house, and then you should be able to remote in. And then there's a couple more things after that you have to do to be able to remote in to help them with stuff. Like they might need to open firewalls on their machine or open up ports on their machine so you can remote in. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty high level what you'll need to do. If you want to go deeper or something, yeah, absolutely. We have a Discord that could help out, and I'd hop on that conversation too and point you in the right direction. But I doubt I'm going to do a video on it, only because I don't have a ton. I have one machine still, one router, old router, that I just decommissioned, I don't know, about 6 months ago as DDWRT, but yeah, hopefully that helps. Sigor, this is 8 hertz WAN IP. I can't remember what was mentioned in the YouTube vid, but have you taken a look at a Docker image called Scrutiny? It gives a cool smart read on your disks in a web UI. I like it. Scrutiny. All right, I was like, Scrutiny. That one's kind of hard to say. Yeah, but thank you for that, for sure. Web UIs are always cool to check out. I totally agree, Sigor. I love it. Lucas Henrique. Thank you, Lucas Henrique. Oh, thank you so much. That's so much easier when people spell it out for me, or at least put spaces in it. It's so hard to read when it's all lowercase sometimes. Hi, Lude. I've messed with Cloud Init and Pixie a bit. It's definitely better than older init mechanisms. Nice. G2 box is a slicer, which takes the 3D model and turns it into G code to run on a 3D printer, liquid resin printer in this case. Oh, nice. I almost, there's a few solutions so far that are almost going to convince me to buy a 3D printer. Haven't done it yet. Let's see here. iLoot, Pi 4 will work. Older ones limited to 100 megabits, so they might throttle the traffic if it needs more speed. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Doc Ticker, jump on the disk network section. Yeah, help you out. Yeah, for sure. Discord, for sure. PC Geek, if you look up on Google, there are tutorials on how to do an OpenVPN server on DDWRT. I totally agree. And I think it's more straightforward than a lot of other things, for sure. Ice Wolf, awesome. Be sure to, you guys are great. Thank you. PIVPN IO link got removed because I added IO. Yeah. One Josh, I'm building a new Django app, so that's exciting. Nice. I haven't done anything in Django yet. I hear a lot about it. For sure. iLoot, get yourself an Ender 3 Pro V2. They are a blast. Nice. Yeah, I'm still I don't know. Like I said, there's a couple things I want to print. And if I ever decide to print those, then I'll end up buying a 3D printer. Because right now I could buy the two things I want printed. They're $40 each, but I'm like, okay, that's $80. I know that's only a drop in the bucket for getting a 3D printer, but yeah, it's I don't know. I need, once I hit about the third of the cost of a printer of things I'm going to buy that are already printed, then that's when I think I'm going to buy one for sure. Sigor, how are you liking the new OneU server? Yeah, I think they're awesome. They're awesome for sure. I love them. Can't you tell me how many times I've gone down in the basement just to turn on the lights and look at them? I feel like, yeah, it's awesome. I feel like, yeah, like when you get a new car. I've only had, I think, a new car once in my life, like a brand new one. And you just like look at it and you're like, that's pretty awesome. Anyways, that's how I feel about those servers. So they're great. The way I set them up so far has been fantastic, flawless. So running, well, now they're on Proxmox 6.3. I have my striped mirror RAID setup, 128 gigs of RAM. I'm already getting to the limits of that, which is unfortunate because I've been piling a ton of stuff in there. Super performant. I couldn't ask for a better two systems. I know a lot of people ask a lot about the noise. Noise is totally fine. Like I said, I think I've said it a few times, but the noise it's not louder than my 710. It's just a different sound. You know, it's a probably an octave higher, but it's quieter. So it's just different. Everyone's like, oh, those are going to be so loud, so loud. I'm like, have you heard my disk shelf yet? Or my 710, my Dell R710 when that was fully loaded? And I don't mean the fans, you know, just at 100%. I'm just talking about fans at 20, 30, 40%. There's a lot in there. So anyways, yeah, it's running fantastic. I love being able to have now Proxmox in a cluster. I'm able to move machines around. If I'm ever just like, I got to reboot this machine, just move them around. You know, it's super nice. It's super nice. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. I mean, there's a couple things, you know, I still need to figure out. But other than that, it's fantastic. I mean, the one thing I wish I had was just one more PCI Express slot. But where I want to be in the future is like, I don't want to have to worry about PCI Express slots at all. You know, I want to just be able to not depend on any hardware. So I want to be able to run all my workloads without depending on any hardware inside of my or outside on the host. And so in order to do that, I got to figure out what I'm going to do with TrueNAS in the future, because that's the one thing that kind of binds me down to this machine is I need my LSI, my HBA controller that's then connected to my disk shelf. So I'm like, okay, you know, do I really want to go physical on this thing? Not really, because that's spinning up a whole nother machine. But you know, anyways, just figuring a lot of that out. Overall, I couldn't be happier. Like, it's so nice. And I think, you know, I probably would have been happy with a lot of solutions too, with having, you know, just basically 2 newer servers that were pretty good. And yeah, so I think I'd feel this way either way, but the fact that they're 1U, lower footprint is awesome. And you know, I'm already saving a lot of power. So I mean, this is I keep eyeballing it, but I'm about 150 watts lower running these 2 servers than I was with my Dell R710 plus my Haswell PC converted tower that we're both running, that we're providing all the same services I have now. And so, yeah, I you know, I'm saving 150 watts every day, all day. So, and that's awesome too. I do miss how much RAM I had in my Dell R710. I mean, I had 192 gigs. So, you know, I wasn't maxing it out, but having 128 on 2 is nice. And my workload is spread out, but there's, you know, not a ton of headroom. If it was 256 and it was all in one, you know, I'd have double the headroom right now. But I'm at a point where I'm kind of a little bit uncomfortable with how much RAM I'm using. So I think I might bite the bullet and buy another 128 gigs for each, which is like insane. Like, I can't believe I'm going to do it, but I kind of already did. And so it's, yeah, anyways, but it's awesome. Like, I couldn't have asked for it to turn out any better. You know, and migrations work fast, backups work fast, and it's great. And I know a lot of people are like, well, you know, there's not a 10 gig NIC in there, but you know what? I mean, you know, the network speed is only one piece of the equation when you do backups. You know, it's a lot of CPU and RAM too, because it's doing the compression and stuff like that. So I don't know. I mean, at my Ubuntu servers, I can live migrate them in probably like 4 or 5 minutes over to the other machine, and that's on a gigabit. I can back them up in probably 3. It's super awesome. Anyways, yeah, I love it. Thank you for asking, for sure. You have 3 3D printers. Oh my gosh, TD5150. Mega Man's team, I'm at 5 3D printers. What do you do with so many 3D printers? I don't even have one. I guess people probably ask me the same thing about servers. Like, what are you doing with so many servers? I don't even have one. That's how I feel like with 3D printers. Regular Ender 3 can be had for 170-ish. Nice. So 80 is already more than a third of the cost. You guys are trying to convince me. 8 hertz WAN IP. Some people pay thousands for an ambient sound machine just to get the same effect we hear from our servers. That's right. Yeah. Oh man, that is right. The one used is a little bit higher pitch though. PC Geek. Oh no, here we go again. Another printer discussion. Yeah, but 3D. Yeah, totally. Printers are a topic, a favorite topic of discussion for a lot of people. Well, at least when they get brought up, everyone has something to say about the printer. 3D printers, I guess so too. Hi, Lou. I got four printers, but one is a gift for my brother-in-law and my nieces, but I will need to make sure it all set up before working for them. Yeah, right. Yeah, you make sure they're all working. Yeah, print out a few things. CompSci. I started using Ceph FS with Proxmox. Really nice and fast to migrate VMs and LXC containers from one host to another. Nice. Yeah, I've been thinking about external storage at some point. Yeah, in general, or shared storage, I guess I should say. That's awesome. I haven't done anything with Ceph FS. I know it's, going from 5 to 6, they were asking if I wanted to install, or I had it installed. And so I was just like, yeah, I'll figure that out later. But no, that's really awesome to hear. I keep thinking about shared storage at some point. Hey, Stellis87, subscribe, tier 1. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. How you doing? Thank you for the support. Really appreciate it. TD5150. I have a CR10 S4 and I have a brand new Prusa and a new Ender 5, plus that they are still in the boxes. What? Had not had time to put them together. You almost have 2 printers because it takes time to make 3D printers print, especially big prints. Oh man, this sounds like it's getting complicated. I remember upgrading my first computer to 96 megabytes of RAM. Wow. PC Geek, I had a PC with 8 megs of RAM. What? 96, I started at 4. Oh my gosh, that is crazy. I think my first one had, I don't know, 100, I doubt 100. I bet it was 32. I don't know. I have no idea. It was a 500 megahertz processor, but I got a computer later in life though too, at the same time, my PC. Hi Lude, I got the CR6. It's a good printer, but it would not recommend it for the first time printer. Too many teething problems. Strong opinions at that. LOL. Mega Man Streams, Techno Tim, I use my printers for D&D miniatures and prop game items. That is awesome. That's one of the things that we're like, that I've always thought like 3D printers excelled at, was just making like little trinket stuff. Like I thought it was super cool. Now you can print so many different things, but I could never find like a good use case for me. But now after getting a server rack, I mean, you could print anything. So that's awesome. That's an awesome use case for sure. So then your D&D miniatures, do you like paint them afterwards, or are they just are they props only? Because that's awesome. That is so awesome. Stellis, thanks, man. You make my hobbies much less frustrating with your guys. Hey, I appreciate it. Yeah, no problem at all. Yeah, I'm glad they're your hobbies. They're my hobbies too. And most of the things I'm doing, it's what I did last weekend. So, yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying them. Glad they're helpful. Let me know if you have any feedback for sure. Ilu, Tandy SX1000 with 1 meg of RAM. Oh my gosh. The first PC was a 486 DX2, 66 megahertz. Oh, mine was a K62. Mine was AMD K62, 500 megahertz. PC Geek. Oh, I had a Tandy 2 at one point with TeskMate on it. Man, subnetwork. I've been on the internet since 1995. Very different internet. Yeah. I think I was on the internet. Oh, I think in 97 or something was the first time I got on the internet. Maybe 96. I don't know. Actually, I did way earlier on my Commodore. It wasn't the internet, but I dialed into a game server, and the game server actually said that the game was shut down. But that was my first experience with doing anything remote with a computer. And it was awesome that it actually worked. Seagore, I have a Tandy Color 2. No idea if it works. I have no monitor for it. Oh my gosh. PC Geek, remember bulletin board via modem? Yeah, I think that's what I dialed into when I was a kid with my Commodore 64. But I don't know if it was a bulletin board, but it was like some game server to report high scores or get high scores. I can't remember. TD5150, I have designed a 3D printer brackets, etc. for my home server rack printed out on my 3D printer. Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. These are the things that I'm thinking about because I want to print something. Well, I want to fill part of my rack with something, and I looked to see how much they cost, and they're $40 a piece. And I thought, well, I might need two, and that's $80. And I was like, okay, if I print these, then I could save the $80. Not really, because I'll be spending a lot more, but you know what I mean. I was styling with my two 5 1/4 drives. Didn't have swap disks when loading games. Nice. Space Quest. Nice. Let's see here. The sub network used to dial in all the time. Was excited about getting on the internet because I could find BBS lists. Nice. Oh, man, you guys are on a roll here. ComSci. I use the CR10S to make parts for Massey. Ferguson 202 power steering seats were shot. You can't buy the parts any longer. 3D printers are awesome because the CR10S or Ender is a great printer. And the Octoprint, and then add that to the Heimdall. You see the print status. Nice. Oh, so you can see the print status on your dashboard. That is so awesome. That is so awesome. Right, LOL. iLoot got started running dial-up ISP out of my parents' basement. Nice. Nice. Hey guys, I think I am gonna, we're to the end of the comments. I finally caught up. All right, one more. The sub network. I had to 3D print a part on a ship to get our radar back and working. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. I just have, I guess I don't have enough hobbies. I need more hobbies so that I can print stuff for them. But so far my use cases have been something for my rack and possibly like a battery door to a broken remote. Yeah. Oh man, but man, you guys, dude, thank you so much for everything tonight and everything always. You guys are awesome. YouTube videos are a good hobby. Yeah, that's true. I could print stuff for that. And maybe I will, who knows? But man, thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. Thanks so much for hanging out. There was the craziest like intro I think I've ever had. And I apologize that I was like messing with my OBS during my intro screen. But thank you so much for that sub hype. As soon as I started streaming, I really appreciate it. But also thank you for being here and for chatting and yeah, just being awesome. Seems like there's some new people in here in the channel. If you want to continue the conversation, you can absolutely continue the conversation. You can hang out in here and chat, or you can go and join our Discord server. We have a Discord server that's full of different channels, all about tech. A lot or most of the people you see chatting are a member of our Discord. So I would love for you guys to join. iLoot posted the Discord banana. Yeah, use the banana one for sure. It might do something in the future. But use the Discord link. Absolutely join. I would love for you to join and talk more about 3D printers or your first PC or how much RAM you had in your first PC, because these are all good stories. But either way, oh my gosh, P. Diddy. Oh man, and we're going out with a bang too. P. Diddy, dude, thank you so much. 5 gifted subs. Oh my gosh, man. Dude, P. Diddy, man. I guess parting gift, dude. Thank you so much, man. You guys have all done so much. P. Diddy, man. Let's see here. Throwaway. Arnoff. P.S. Joachim White. Sedated. 5-zip. 5-zip. I like it. Not 7-zip, but 5-zip. Thank P. Diddy for your gifted sub. Man, you guys are so awesome. Thank you so much. Oh, and Throwaway. Hey, thanks for the follow. Really appreciate it. You guys have a fantastic night. I will be back. I'm not sure if it's going to be Thursday yet because I'm switching things up. I will absolutely be back Saturday, but I will let you know in Discord for sure. So, man, thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. No lag this time on the stream. And so So anyways, have a good night. I will see you guys soon, but sooner in Discord. Take care. As always, be good to each other. Take care. And I'm back. That's right. Right. Thank you so much for reminding me. Thank you so much for reminding me. Yeah, P. Diddy, let's do it. Psych. That's totally a psych. Let's do it. So I need to be better at rating people. And it's just that I forget when I'm done streaming. So I need to make it a part of my rotation. So let's make it a part of our rotation. Let me get Twitch loaded up really quick and mute all the stuff that's going to happen and not be on my own channel, because this is now super weird looking at myself directly in the face. Let's find someone to raid. Let me switch over to here. So the way this works is what I kind of normally do is I kind of go in the science and technology channel and I kind of just let the algorithm do its thing and see who it's suggesting and then pick someone from there. But this time we're actually going to verify that we're online, because last time we rated someone, they just hosted someone else and it was all super awkward. Like we were in the one person's channel who wasn't rating anymore or wasn't live anymore. And so we were all talking in there and he was hosting someone else. So anyways, it got super weird. So let's rate someone. I usually pick someone off the top row that I've never rated before. Let's see here. New stream. Oh yeah, new stream. Hey guys, welcome. No, let's rate someone. Let me put this in full screen. So I usually pick someone top row because that's who Twitch, according to the algorithm, is saying it should be working. And I think this is who we rated last time, but it didn't actually work. Al Hazard or AI Hazard. Anyways, let's see. What some suggestions? Econ Greg, he has a great mellow channel. Where's Econ Greg? Is he on this row? Is he first row, second row? I'm not seeing Econ Greg. So and if you didn't hear me, I usually go with science and technology and then kind of sort of in these couple of rows because I'm gonna use Twitch's algorithm. Ray Lewis, Ross Mangrew. All right, I'm gonna pick someone off of here. Let's. This is the person we actually tried to raid last time. Give me a second. I don't know if this is Al Hazard or AI Hazard. That's a capital I. But I do want to. What's he doing? Come on, let's see. Let's see what he's. I'll unmute it here in a second. I just want to make sure that it's commercial. Oh my gosh. This commercial, could it be any longer? This is so bad. Commercials on Twitch are so bad. This is who we tried to raid last time. And last time we tried to raid him, he just started hosting someone else. So I almost feel like I'm going to give this guy another shot because it wasn't his fault last time when we tried to raid him. So let's do this. And then we'll, next time maybe we'll go off the script a little bit. Because like I was saying, I usually go with what the algorithm tells me. Mainly because I want to help their algorithm. So anyways, so here are some suggestions. So if you don't have anything to spam, there's some suggestions. If you have stuff from us, if you have some of our emotes, like sudo, there's that one. I mean, you guys have these maybe. Or the DNS one. Here's another one here. Here's one as administrator. I should copy these all somewhere else. Run as. But here's some suggestions if you have them. And if you don't, you can use the ones above that are just plain old regular emojis. So let's raid him. I think it's Al, but I'm gonna go with AI or Al. Let's raid him. So anyways, raid. There we go. All right, we're gonna raid him. I'm gonna turn this up a little bit. Hey guys, thank you so much. P. Diddy, thank you so much for reminding me to raid someone. I really appreciate it because yeah, I definitely want to share the love. So here we go in 2 seconds. Here we go. Have a good night.